Hi, welcome back to Good Morning Greyhounds. I'm Adriana Ojeda. And today with me, I have two special guests, Mariana and Jennifer from the Center for Service Learning and Community Engagement. By the way, when I was looking you two up, I saw how much you guys really do give back to the community. You both are working for nonprofits, and Jennifer, you are doing the Indiana Special Olympics stuff, and you both published articles, and they were amazing. I even read some of the articles because I got interested, and you guys really go into detail with them. So that kind of brings me to my question. Because I looked, you're from Cyprus.
I am.
And you managed to get your bachelor's and your master's here, and you are here teaching. And then you got your undergrad and your graduate from Kentucky, and moved to Indianapolis. So what made you guys decide to come here to UINDY?
Well, thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for having us on your show. It's really exciting for us to be here today. So I actually came here in 1998 as an international student at the University of Indianapolis from the island of Cyprus, as you mentioned. So I'm actually an alum twice. I got my bachelor's here, and then I left, and then I came back and did my master's in sociology. And the second time I left again, but then something was always pulling me back at UINDY. There's something about our community and our people here and our students and faculty and administration and community partners that I always felt a sense of belonging. So when a position opened at the Center for Service Learning, at the time as a coordinator for service learning programs, I was you know what, I wonder what that would look like. So that was about 16 years ago, and I started here professionally developing service learning initiatives and volunteer initiatives for UINDY, and it was a very quick commitment to develop programs that serve the community and engage our students and faculty in meaningful ways. And 16 years later, I'm still here and very involved. So I love this place. It's my family away from home. Yeah.
And I came from Kentucky, as you said, from coaching softball at Morehead State University in Morehead, Kentucky for 10 years. And at that point in my career, I was ready to make a change. My original degree was in teaching, and I knew I loved working with college students. How can I marry those two? I went back and got my doctorate degree in education. This job opened up, and what better place when you teach sports management like I do? There's no better place in the country to be than Indianapolis because of the networking that you can do here, because of the sports organizations that are here. There's about 98 sports organizations within the regional area because of the championships that they hosted. I knew that this would be an opportunity for me to get our students involved with sports organizations, involved with championship events, and really to create opportunities for them to do some wonderful things. So 18 years ago I came here, got connected with the Center for Service Learning a few years afterwards, and have really had the opportunity then to provide great experiences for our students in connection with the sports world here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, well, I have more questions to ask, but we are going to go to a break real quick.
Man, we gotta take Bryce Young, right?
What did you say?
No, it's Bryce Young. It's obviously Bryce Young.
C.J. Stroud, the obvious pick for Steichen and the Colts.
Ohio State quarterbacks, we know they don't
I mean,
win.
come on. He's got the
titles.
whole offense handed to him. Check out Last Call. We've got all the sports info you need from around the nation and right here on campus. Plenty of UINDY sports.
College football and college basketball.
The NFL.
The NBA.
MLB.
Don't forget about motorsports.
And I'll give you all the gambling picks you need to know to make some money. Right here on Last Call, Mondays at 4 o'clock on YouTube.
The world's a crazy place, and it's only getting crazier. And it seems like no one wants to talk about it. So I'm going to. That's why I created Real Talk, a roundtable discussion show where each week I bring on different guests to talk about hot-button issues in society. Join me every week to get your questions answered, Wednesdays at 1 p.m.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Welcome back to Good Morning Greyhounds. So, you both work for the community of service learning and the Center of Engagement. Can you explain more what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. The Center for Service Learning and Community Engagement at the University of Indianapolis is a center that is kind of like the umbrella at UINDY of anything that happens that we engage our students, faculty, staff through service and service learning experiences. Anything where our students are involved through volunteerism, it comes back to us. We develop collaborations, projects, support days of service at UINDY and in our city, nationally, globally. Our expertise is the development of service learning initiatives. And service learning is a little different than volunteerism, is that it is a part of a curricular experience at the University of Indianapolis. So when you come at the University of Indianapolis as a student, we hope throughout your 4 years at UINDY, you're going to eventually take a course where your faculty is going to choose to put you out in the community, and they're going to choose to teach their course by engaging their students in the community through service and learning. And that's what service learning is, right? So we go out and identify current social issues and develop programs that engage our community partners locally, nationally, globally, with our faculty right now at UINDY. And we develop programs that marry the learning objectives and teaching objectives and community needs. And that's how we develop our initiatives typically. So that's what we do at the Center for Service, and a lot of other things. Yeah.
Of course.
And then Jennifer is our distinguished faculty for service learning, so you want to talk about that maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have the opportunity, I'm the faculty piece of this, so I don't directly work for the Center for Service Learning. Instead, I work in the kinesiology department. But I work with Mariana and community partners to help us develop, as Mariana said, projects for our class that take what we're talking about in the classroom and give us an opportunity to apply it in real life. And I've had the opportunity to work more on that in the last couple of years as the Distinguished Professor of Service Learning in terms of developing not only my course projects and projects that really help the whole university connect to the Indiana Special Olympics project, which we can talk about if you'd like, but also to do some more, as you mentioned, articles and research about service learning and methodology and service learning from a teaching perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, I was reading on it, and it says like you were like the first one to receive the award of the Distinguished Professorship of the Service Learning. So can you tell me like what it was like to like be like the first one awarded and like how it impacted you?
Yeah, and I wish I was the first one, but I was the second, and that's okay. So Rebecca Deemer, who's in communications, was the first. Gillian, was the first recipient. And for her work with, what's the organization?
Top Dog Communications. Top Dog Communications. And she does some great work in where she takes her students out into the community and helps community organizations and nonprofits build their communication strategy and get their marketing going. So I was happy to be the second because Rebecca set a great precedent for me in how to work. So my particular project has been with Special Olympics Indiana. Although I do other things, my major project has been with Special Olympics Indiana, where we bring in their state youth basketball tournament. And their state youth basketball tournament is the only youth basketball tournament for Special Olympics athletes in the world. And we have that here in Indiana. And so I have a class of students, and their job is to plan, organize, and implement that event. And it involves ages 8 to 18. Teams come to us from all over the state. We give them an opportunity to play basketball, whether it be a 3-on-3 format, a 5-on-5 format, or for those who don't have a team, they can compete in a skills competition. But it's also a day of fun. It's not just about playing basketball, but what we've decided is that we want it to be a day of fun. So we have involved other classes on campus, like physical therapy assistants, like occupational therapy students, like public health students, like education students and music therapy students. Mm-hmm. They come to Nickerson and Ruth Lilly on that day, and in between the basketball games, the students go to them and just have fun. And the students
from example, music therapy, are learning how to interact with someone with an intellectual disability. At the same time, the athlete from Special Olympics is just having a good time and not understanding that they're providing a learning experience for our students. We also have lots of volunteers that help us put on the event. The football team comes to cheer. When you go to a basketball game and you make a basket, like that's something you really want, just for somebody to cheer for you. Yeah. And so it's a great experience for them too, because they can observe what a person with intellectual disabilities can and cannot do, and really understand that they're a lot like us. They want to compete as well. Mm-hmm. And so many times those athletes will go into the stands and high five those students and hug those students and thank them for being there. So we really think it's a win-win. Special Olympics gets to have a basketball tournament, and we get to provide opportunities for our campus community to interact with persons with intellectual disabilities.
So have you guys like always been like interested in like the service learning area, or like was it just something that just happened and you just got into it? Mm-hmm. Like, what was your story in figuring out, yes, this is what I want to do and I want to help others doing it?
Absolutely. So for me, I was always interested in being involved. I was always interested in finding ways to be a part of solutions versus part of problems, right? So when I learned about the University of Indianapolis platform to develop service learning initiatives, I was immediately very interested in getting involved and learning more about the current issues here and how we can be utilizing the University of Indianapolis as a higher education institution to access resources and knowledge and skill sets through our students and faculty, not only to enhance our students and our faculty development in their research and scholarship, but also to address current social issues in our city and beyond. So it's meaningful. It's truly, when you are involved with very current issues and you see the impact that our community from our university can have in the community beyond the university, it's impactful. And if we do it the right way and we can sustain it and it can be reciprocal for all parties involved, there is no more rewarding work or job that you can do than the one where you can see results. And then you see your students develop into responsible, adult, engaged citizens because of those experiences. And that's also another reward for me. I've been here long enough to where I can see my students now and our students here perform in ways through their jobs and through their personal lives that are truly engaging with their communities that they live in through citizenship. And they use whatever jobs and skill sets that they have through UINDY to give back, and that's true servant leadership there. So it's the best job ever.
You ask a great question. And so for me, that's part of my teaching methodology and my philosophy, that the way students really learn is through hands-on experiences. And so what better way to provide hands-on experiences than, as Mariana has already said, do something for community that's also impactful. So we have had great opportunities in sport management at the University of Indianapolis, everything from helping put on major events like Final Fours or like the Big Ten Championships to working with community partners like Bethel Park. And in Bethel Park is a low socioeconomic area of the city where 85% of the kids that live there are on free lunch. So during the spring break, our students put on a camp for them where they can come to the park when the park's not normally open. They can do activities, get them out of their house, but also one of our goals is to provide a meal for them during that time so that we can make sure that they have something to eat and they have snacks when they come and they have snacks when they leave. So we're providing that service while our students are learning about park programming. They're learning about how to make sure that kids stay safe and what do you do with registrations and how do you keep kids going. And then those students are also getting to interact with college students and hopefully saying, yeah, maybe I want to go to college someday. And our students are learning about what life is like for someone who lives in this low socioeconomic area and what challenges they have. So it really can be a great opportunity to give back and learn at the same time. And that's really, I think, again, the best way students learn is by doing something, just like you're doing today.
Oh, thank you. So, like, what is, like, your, like, main goal for, like, to get, like, the students and, like, even, like, the faculty, like, more involved with, like, the service learning stuff?
Absolutely. Well, our goal is to really have 100% of everybody that is involved with UINDY be involved, whether it's through their athletic careers, their criminal justice careers, their biology careers, music therapy, engineering. We want all of our students to, at least at some point, have an experience where they're understanding why being civically responsible is important throughout your life. This is about them, right? My hope is to also sustain support systems and institutionalized support systems at the University of Indianapolis that can help us be successful in what we do. For example, recently our Service Learning Council, which is a team of about 22 faculty and staff from all over the university, academic and not academic areas that support the work of service learning at UINDY. We recently have reviewed online systems to help us centralize the ways that we report and look for ways to engage our students. So we developed a system called Greyhounds Connect at UINDY, where all of our partners can go in and share their profiles and current needs. Then all of our faculty can go in and see the opportunities that are out there as they develop their courses that they're going to offer this semester, next semester, in the summer, or whatever. Our students can go in and look for ways that they can get involved, whether they are RSOs, volunteer students, athlete students needed to do surveys, students that are looking for curricular requirements for surveys. So Hounds Connect is kind of our recent platform. So it is important for us that we're sustaining the ways that we share the information and engage everyone.
And my role as Distinguished Professor of Service Learning is to be a resource for the faculty and also encourage the faculty to get involved with service learning, but also if they're not really sure, they don't know what to do, they can come to me. I think the last thing I want to say in that regard is that it's also okay if the students have an idea to come to the faculty member and say, hey, I know about this and this is going on and this is a need. Can we do something about it in my class or in our program? And I would encourage the students to do that.
Of course. So we went out on campus to ask some students about their experience in the service learning projects and global engagement classes. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Maddie Fisher, and I'm here on the campus of the University of Indianapolis asking students what cultural experience class did they take and how did they feel about it? What, experiencing cultural differences, global awareness class did you take at the university?
I took FYS 182, that was Cultural Healthcare in U.
How did we feel about cultural healthcare in U?
I did not enjoy that class. Just based off of the name, I thought it was going to be taught by a diverse professor, and when I walked in the first day and it was an older white woman, I was disappointed, to say the least. And then there were some comments that went under the radar with her, being pointed at in class and being like, you're a representative of this population, what do you think about this? Things like that. Wasn't my idea of celebrating the differences, for sure.
How can we improve these courses on campus?
I would say maybe have it be taught by somebody with actual knowledge in that area of diversity.
Did you take your experiencing cultural difference class, and if so, what was it?
Yes, I took Intro to Experience Design, and that was with Dr. Baker, and we had one big project throughout that was split into different sections, and basically it was about connecting with a student who is from a different culture. Mine was Lakeith Prima, who's on the UINDY swim and dive team. He's graduating this year, but he already left home back to India, and I got to interview him about his culture, things that people kind of misunderstand about his culture, and what he enjoys, being a part of the culture that he is a part of, which is India. And it was really awesome because I got to see different perspectives. As a Mexican, we like spicy foods, and that was something that we got to connect with, just different foods that we both get to enjoy. And at the end of the day, I got to grow closer with him and form a friendship, and we got to go eat Mexican food together. So it was really fun. I loved the class.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the class?
The professor made it 10 times better, so 10 out of 10.
So you guys have both taken your global awareness, cultural experience, gen ed classes. What were they?
Intro to Experience Design. Mine was also Intro to Experience Design.
So how did you feel about these classes? What were your opinions on the classes as a whole?
I'm in it right now, and personally, I'm learning a lot about like the specific country that I'm like exploring and stuff like that. But it isn't online, so it's I feel kind of like detached from the other people's countries and their projects and everything. But it is interesting, and it's a new way to look at a culture that I haven't really looked at. Liv?
I actually really liked it. I ended up minoring in it. And mine was in person, so it was different. Yeah. And I just like learning about, like, for the first class, I liked learning about, like, my country and, like, hearing what my other classmates had to say. And then, like, now we're doing, like, a project about, like, kind of, the environment and, like, stuff like that and, like, making a design for that, so.
Could you rate the class on a scale of 1 to 10?
For a gen ed course, I think it's pretty cool, and so probably about a 7.
Yeah, I would give it a 7.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. Tell me about your experiencing cultural difference courses. Which one did you take?
I did teaching in diverse society.
Tell me about that class, Derek.
Okay. I actually really liked it. I liked working with the kids, the service learning, and then just learning about how, like, different educators have to teach different types of cultures, ethnicities, and how to go about doing that. It actually helped me realize a lot about my own education regarding primary and secondary, and now like college. And it just opened up my world about what I want to do, helping people, stuff like that.
Wow, that was like actually like really amazing, like hearing like their perspective. I personally have not like taken like my global awareness class yet, but like what class would you like recommend like for like a person like me to like
to take?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So first of all, let me allow me to say it's great to hear from the student perspectives, and global awareness is just one small part of what we teach through service learning, right? Multicultural competencies are one thing, but multicultural competencies through service learning is a totally different ballgame. And I'm so glad that the third student specifically touched on service learning and the importance of serving and learning with other people. So at the University of Indianapolis, we actually have a concentration called Community Engagement Through Leadership and Service Concentration. And I would encourage you to take it anytime. We developed it specifically for students of any academic major that are interested in learning through engaging with their communities and service. There is a community service learning course that's like an intro to service learning. Our students have served and learned with schools in the area. One of our biggest projects at the University of Indianapolis is serving with the refugees who resettle in our city. Just in Perry Township over the past 5 years, we've seen a very rapid growth in those numbers. Just the refugees from Burma alone and Myanmar are now 30,000 just in our township. We have refugees from countries in Africa and Ukraine and Afghanistan, and we're very, very involved with that population. So a lot of our projects in that course serve and engage with those populations in our city. There is a multicultural competencies course through service and leadership, and the whole purpose there is to get you to experience groups that are unlike your own through service, and that's a great course to take. We have spring term courses that are local and international that are service learning courses. I'm getting ready to take 14 students from the University of Indianapolis to Cyprus with a faculty from nursing and a faculty from English to do a storytelling project and an environmental project at the island there for about 2 weeks. But then there are spring term courses that are local, that engage with the local community here. And then there is the capstone, right? Like Jennifer was talking about earlier, we want our students to come up with their ideas, right? So the capstone is all about, once you took all the other 3 courses, in what ways do you think you can serve your community? So our students in that course are responsible for developing and implementing their own leadership experience to benefit a not-for-profit in the city. So of course we have other courses within academic areas. Engineering engages students in the communities, business, depending on your major. I know that criminal justice is looking at giving students who engage in service and service learning a badge upon their graduation, just to showcase their civic responsibility and leadership. So I would recommend any courses where you know that the faculty is intentional about taking you out in the community, where instead of giving you a space in a classroom, they take you out to serve and learn through practice and hands-on experiences.
Yeah. So how would you give the students, like, if they want to learn more, like, where can they learn more? And can they contact you guys to ask more questions?
Absolutely. We always want our students to learn more. We always want our faculty to learn more, right? The Center for Service Learning and Community Engagement is housed in Eshkol 134. We have a little suite. We have an open door policy. Anybody can come in and talk to us about ideas, learn more things. We are also on my UINDY. If you just go to uindy.edu/service learning, we're right there. If you go to Hounds Connect, our information is houndsconnect.uindy.edu. Our information is right there as well. Or they can really talk to any faculty on campus. And if faculty are not familiar, they will know where to send them as well.
Of course. Do you have anything to add?
Oh, no, I think Mariana brings up some great points in terms of recommendations for service learning courses. And obviously, if you can get out and travel, that's also a great way to learn. But yes, she is open and available to any student who wants to have an experience in the community. So if you're looking for something, or if it's a requirement for class, you don't know where to turn, stop by her office in Esh, and she's the best resource this campus has.
So what was your favorite thing about, because you're going to Cyprus, and that's your home country. So what are you most excited about taking these students to do?
I think we are. I think the students are just most excited to travel, right? And it's been exciting to put the trip together, but to have them serve with local partners on site in Cyprus and culturally immerse themselves fully. It's what they are the most excited about, and no better way to do it through service and through learning. So they're going to be exposed to the culture and the ways of living and the diversity there and traditions. So they're really excited about that learning experience. Absolutely.
Are you planning on taking any students for spring term to travel abroad, or just stay locally?
Yeah, that's a great question. No, not at this time. We've had some courses in the past. One year we took a group of students to volunteer for the Special Olympics World Games when it was in Greece. That was a fantastic experience. We also had some of our other faculty in kinesiology. We have a faculty in kinesiology right now who's taking a group of students to Belize to work with students there in learning health and healthy behaviors. And so that's exciting for our students, and our students can be a part of that as well. But yeah, maybe someday we'll be able to get back on a travel trip. I'd like to do that.
Yeah. Of course. And if I can add, we are intentional about bringing the global to the local as well. So Jennifer and I have been a part of an international network called the International Service Learning Symposium that started in 2005 in collaboration with the University of Indianapolis and Stellenbosch University in South Africa. And that network has traveled from Indianapolis to South Africa to China to Ireland to Greece to Cyprus, and it's coming back home now in 2024. And we'll have universities here from all over the world. Our main hosts are with universities in France, Myanmar, South Africa, Argentina, and we're going to be hosting it here in 2024. So we hope you'll be out there covering the story.
I hope I can go there too. Unfortunately, I could talk about this all day with you guys, but we can't. So thank you guys for tuning in to Good Morning Greyhounds. Mariana, Jennifer, you have been amazing. So thank you so much for coming this morning.
Thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome. I'm Adriana Ojeda.